Hi everyone, welcome back to Bookishplants. It's me, Odalis. I'm back with more videos and with more reviews. Hopefully I can keep this up, though we all know that sometimes it might not work out. But I'm trying, I'm hanging in there, and I'm really trying. So for today I have a book review. So it's a book that I recently read that I very much enjoyed. It's a little bit, it was a book that was out of my comfort zone. It's definitely of a genre that I don't necessarily reach out for, but thanks to this book in particular, I think I'm going to start reaching out for more of these kinds of books. So for today, I will actually be reviewing some first impressions. I thoroughly enjoyed this novel. I thought it was great. I thought the characters were great. I thought it was fun. It was all the good things. We follow Chloe Brown, who has pretty much always lived with her parents and with her family. One day she ends up having a near-death experience, and unfortunately this kind of changes her way of thinking about her own life and thinking about what she has or hasn't done in order to live on the edge, kind of being free, independent, and all that stuff. So this actually triggers her to create somewhat of a bucket list of things that she would like to accomplish in order for her to deem herself as somebody who has a life, hence the title, Get a Life. And so basically one of the very first things that is on her list is being able to move out of her parents' house and being able to live independently. And so that's pretty much where we kind of are introduced to her. She moves into this new apartment, and in this new apartment she encounters the superintendent named Red. She and Red absolutely do not get along. They do not have any kind of patience for one another. Artist Chloe Brown thinks Red just absolutely doesn't like her because she sees that he's always kind to everybody else except her, and so she kind of feels like, why is he so aloof with me? Why is he so rude when I'm around? But yet when somebody else is around, he's all nice and he smiles at them. He makes a conversation with them. So she's like, what the hell? And then with Red specifically, we get the idea that he kind of thinks of her as this stuck-up rich girl who just, is used to getting everything she wants. And unfortunately, he just has a very personal feeling towards people like that. Funnily, however, Chloe Brown one day takes a walk out into the park. She notices that a cat is stuck in a tree, and she decides that she wants to go ahead and live on the edge. She makes an irrational decision and decides that she's going to go ahead and save the cat from the tree. Unfortunately, due to her own physical issues, because she does have a chronic illness, and she's often in pain a lot of the time, she gets stuck in the tree, and she's able to get on top of the tree, but she doesn't have a way of coming back down. And so conveniently, Red is also walking, and he notices this commotion going on where she's at the tree. A cat is also stuck in the tree, and so he decides to walk up to her and ask her if she needs any help. And pretty much that's kind of where we see the beginning of their connection. He ends up rescuing her, and she ends up explaining the reasons why she decided to get on the tree and try to save the cat. And she tells him about this list, and then she also enlists him in order to help her accomplish the things that are on her list. So it's pretty much a quick summary. I do not want to get into too many details because I do think it is a book worth reading on your own. This book in particular was actually really nice to read, and it was so cute. I think one of my favorite things about this particular novel is the fact that the characters are so real in a sense. They're not the typical character representation that we normally see in books. We know that Chloe Brown, she has a chronic illness, and we definitely get to see her as she struggles with that and how it has impacted her life and her relationships. And then all in all, I just think it's just a lovely thing to see. The way they interact with one another, they really do care for each other, and I really admire the way Red takes care of Chloe, even when she doesn't really want anybody to take care of her, just because she feels like, you know, there are obviously insecurities there as well of letting people in and then potentially having them leave when it's convenient for them. And so it is something that was very cute to see. I loved their progression and how they started to develop a much stronger relationship as the novel went on. I thought it was beautifully done in that sense, and I also think that one of the more redeeming qualities is just how, again, like how Talia Hibbert wrote these characters. I just felt it was just so rich and they just felt so real, and honestly, like I just wanted the best for both of them. I thought it was beautifully done. I thought it was beautifully written. It was such a fun read. It was something that I didn't quite want to put down. Like, I think I finished it in a relatively quick time, compared to like other things that I've read. And so I do think it's something worth reading. This is the first proper romance novel that I've read in, well, ever. And so I do think if you are a novice at romance novels, and if you're somebody who doesn't normally gravitate towards romance novels, I do think this is one that would be worth checking out, because again, they have such endearing characters. It's very realistic. The steaminess, there is plenty of steaminess, but it's not too much where it's like it just seems overdone. It just seems kind of natural, and I really like that as well. And so if you are somebody who doesn't normally read romance, or if you're somebody who just wants something that's heavily character based, I do think that this is a story for you. I know that Talia Hibbert also has like 2 other books that are included within this Brown Sisters companion novels. The second one being Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and the third one, which actually recently came out this month, was Act Your Age, Eve Brown. And I heard both of those were also equally, if not more, fantastic than this one. And so I'm actually looking forward to reading more from her and just seeing where she takes these sisters, and just to see where she takes these characters. I was kind of shocked. I knew that there was a lot of hype around this particular novel and like this series in general, but I wasn't sure how much I would actually like it. But being able to read this one, I'm definitely looking forward to the other 2. I heard that of the 3, I think the best one might be Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and so I am looking forward to reading that one as well. And I'm pretty sure if they're anything like this, then I'll definitely enjoy them just as much. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to reading more from Talia Hibbert. I hope she continues to write more. And yeah, if you're not familiar with romance, I do think that this is something that you can definitely get into. It's not too much. It's not too, I mean, there's lots of cliche parts, but it's not too much. Like I said, like, you really just really root for these characters and you want the best for them. I guess as a critique, I will say that I'm not a huge fan of the very last conflict that occurred. It happened probably within the last 100 pages of the book, and I was just like, okay, there's more. And then I saw that there was like, it was almost finishing, so I was like, where is this going? And it's like, why is this happening? But there is like a very last conflict. And I don't know if this is something that's very common in romance novels, but you know, it is what it is. It was included. I personally wish it was either never included, or if it was introduced a lot earlier so that it could be fleshed out a little bit more, or if it was just longer to give us that time for it to simmer and to be fleshed out a lot more, then I think I would have appreciated it. But overall, it wasn't too terrible that it made me like hate the novel, and by any means. I still think it's a strong novel, but it's just something that I wish just didn't exist in the book. But it's there, and take it as is. Maybe some people enjoy the last conflict. I personally didn't, but overall, like, the novel as a whole was actually really, really good and entertaining, and it was just beautifully written. Again, these characters are so well developed that I just, you know, I can't be mad at it, you know. Now I give this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think you would too. If you're not familiar or if you're not accustomed to romance novels, I do think that this is one that is just worth it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my review. If you would like to see more of me and any of the other posts that I make or reviews or whatever, I will link my Instagram down in the description. I also have a Twitter, though I'm not that active, but I retweet a lot of stuff. So if you want to see me, if you just want to see a gallery of retweets, then by all means follow me as well. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I hope you all have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is. And bye.